o'clock. We will finish at 10:50. I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Nova Scotians have a lot of questions about their power bills, but we have yet to hear from the Minister of Energy directly. With Wednesday's rate increase, the average Nova Scotian will be paying $600 more for power than when this government was elected. The Energy Board was clear. They do not have the power to create social policy or the legal authority to disallow the recovery of costs to make rates more affordable. Action must come from this government in this legislature. What is the Energy Minister doing to help Nova Scotians manage this rising cost today?
I recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance.
Madam Speaker, we respect the independence of the Energy Board. There's much that we have done on the file of helping Nova Scotians. We have invested over $250 million in energy efficiency programs. We're helping low-income Nova Scotians with heat pumps. We're doing many different things, including offering a historic tax break in this current budget. And I hope that the member will commit to these tax breaks rather than tax increases. We know that Nova Scotians know best what to do with their own money.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Madam Speaker, nearly half of all Nova Scotians are already paying too much for power, and now those bills are going up again, and the Energy Minister needs to act. His own government helped design an affordable energy rate program to help hundreds of thousands of Nova Scotians making tough choices about how to keep the heat on. And families are still waiting for that program. 46,000 Nova Scotians had to go through the winter without the heating assistance rebate program that they had previously had access to. He could have put that back, but he did not. Madam Speaker, what steps is the Energy Minister taking to help Nova Scotians with their power bills today?
I recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance.
Madam Speaker, we are doing much on every front in the energy sector, as the member knows. We are, in fact, the tax break that we are offering in this year's budget of about $1,400 on average per family, which is profound, and it far exceeds the HARP amounts, and is for every Nova Scotian family. Very proud of that. We're extending the eligibility in Europe to renewable energy. We're doing renewable projects all over the province, Madam Speaker, including in Cape Breton and down in Shelburne. We're working hard on Wind West to see that energy source come into play. We're working hard. We're very pleased that Quebec Hydro has indicated their interest in Wind West. There are many things we are doing, Madam Speaker.
I recognize the Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. The part of that $1,400 that applies to energy is not new. It's been around for over a decade. When the Premier appointed himself the Energy Minister, Nova Scotians believed that he would take their concerns seriously, that things would get better, and that energy would be more affordable. But costs are rising by hundreds of dollars. Service is unreliable, and the Energy Board has been clear that action has to come from this government. They have had years to launch a full review of Nova Scotia Power's operations and ownership so that people aren't forced to pay high costs for bad service. What is the Energy Minister waiting for?
I recognize the Honourable Minister of Finance.
Speaker, I'm very proud of our Energy Minister, and he couldn't be, the Minister could not be doing more to try to change the energy future of Nova Scotia. Not only are we working in the sphere of Wind West and offshore wind, we're working in Queens on wind energy projects. We're working in across the province on solar projects. We're working in the sphere of natural gas to develop natural gas so that we have our own energy source rather than relying on United States imported natural gas. Madam Speaker, we're working on a long-term basis on which I'm optimistic in my area on tidal power. Madam Speaker, we're working on green hydrogen. We're working to make Nova Scotia an energy superpower. No apologies about that.
Order.